Enshrouded is a survival action RPG game with an incredible crafting and building system, which released into early access on January 24th, and it has become my latest obsession. Excitingly, the team just released a roadmap sharing a first look at some brand new content that we can expect to come to the game this year. So let's break it all down together. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Sunstone, and today we will be going over the very amazing and exciting roadmap for what is set to come to Enshrouded this year, including many highly requested and desired features. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. Now, before we take a look at the roadmap, just in case you are brand new to this game, let me give you a quick overview of what it's all about. As I previously stated, Enshrouded is a survival action RPG game developed by Keen Games. It was launched into early access on January 24th on Steam. However, there are also plans for it to come to PlayStation and Xbox in the future. The game seriously has so much to offer you guys beyond its simple description. The crafting and voxel-based building system is unreal. I mean, if you can see it, you can terraform it. So you can do an underground base, you can make a hobbit hole, you can break through basically any of the materials in this game, you can build back up, you can do so much, and there's so much precision with which you can build. I honestly recommend this game just for the building alone, but there's so much more to it than just that. The game takes place in the realm of Ambervale, an open world where the Shroud has consumed parts of the map. So you can journey through forests, caves, dungeons, deserts. You can go into the Shroud and search for knowledge, search for treasure, loot, resources, discover secrets. There's cooking, there's farming, there's alchemy, there's combat. There's a crazy awesome, I call it a skill web, which is so awesome for creating a very unique character, specifically tailored to your playstyle. And you can do every single thing I've mentioned and more with friends in up to 16-player co-op. So if you're really interested in building, but maybe you're newer to combat, you can pair up with a friend or two or three or four who love combat, and you can balance each other out so you don't have to take it all on by yourself. I could really talk about this game forever and ever, but I do want to get into the roadmap. So if you're interested to see more, I have been streaming the game on the channel, so please be sure to check out the replays for a closer look at gameplay. And now you guys, let's get into this early access roadmap for this year, so 2024 for Enshrouded. Now, it is important to note that like with any roadmap for any game, it is likely to change as they develop the game. Some features may take more time than they plan to implement, some may take less time and come sooner than they originally thought. So remember, roadmaps always ebb and flow with how the content is actually trickled out, but these new features are apparently going to be coming out over the next few updates based on community feedback and suggestions. So if you've played or if you've been hanging out on the streams, you're gonna see some things in here that we were hoping for, speculating on, and you know, just trying to manifest, and we're gonna be getting them. So I'm super excited, you guys. Let's just go through it all, you know, note by note, and I'll share some thoughts on each one. So first up is something called Hollow Halls Dungeons. Now there are dungeons in the game. I haven't, you know, completed all of the stories. I haven't discovered everything on the map yet, but I imagine this is going to be a pretty exciting dungeon if it gets its own note. There's also going to be some location improvements, so quality of life, which I'm really excited about because sometimes when I look at the map, I can't quite tell when I've like completed something or when I haven't. It's not always clear to me if I still need to go to that location, so I'm hoping this will kind of help address that, like to mark it as like complete versus like, oh, there's still something to discover here, which is kind of tough because in this world, every time you load back in, you guys, like the loot chests replenish, so you can like re-loot chests if you know where one is. You can go back to it and like find more loot there. I don't know if they're going to keep that forever, but I really like it because then there's always a chance to find, you know, more treasure in the world, even if you re-explore an area you've already been to. I think that's like a really nice feature in the game. But like any like legendary or like specific things that you need to collect, I'd love to be like more clear on whether or not we've completed that. Multiple NPC instances. So right now you basically rescue these NPCs who who will bring a ton of amazing features back to your base if you summon them there. So for example, there's the farmer who will introduce you to farming. You'll be able to create seedlings for like tomatoes, strawberries, corn. And once you can create these seedlings, you can have your own farmland, you can have a garden, you can plant stuff all over the place, wherever it fits to grow it. So I'm guessing this will allow us to summon that NPC in multiple locations if you want to have multiple bases. More trees to grow as well is super exciting. I've just really started getting into all the farming and planting and all that stuff, so you can grow like shrubs. I think so far I've only unlocked shrubs. I don't think I've unlocked any tree seedlings that I can produce yet, but having a variety will be awesome. So you can maybe plant even some smaller trees, some really big ones maybe, I don't know, maybe some of different colors. Also, the quests around the world are going to become replayable. So if you've already completed a quest but like you want to do it again, there's going to be a way for us to take that on now. The game already has so much replay value. Adding this to it will just be great, because maybe you want to replay a quest through with, you know, different skills or different armor. Like maybe you kind of barely made it through a quest and you'd like to try it again with a stronger build or with different friends or something. Townsfolk NPCs is super exciting. It is so nice to bring those like craftspeople NPCs to your base, but to be able to have townsfolk maybe like wander around your base. I don't know if they're going to be able to help out with anything, like if you can assign them different roles to like harvest crops, for example, or play some music, which we'll get to in a bit. I don't know, but I really like this. I think it'll just make your base feel more alive, especially if you're playing by yourself or only with a couple people. It'll be nice to have those extra townsfolk roaming around. And to go with that, there's also going to be townsfolk pets. And I'm super hyped because in this little icon, I see the picture of the cute little, I don't know what it's called, but they're these little like bunny critters, and they have these really big ears and they're so cute. And I've always wanted to tame one and have it as a pet. They worded it townsfolk pets, which to me indicates that you'll be able to tame them, bring them back to your town, and then they'll probably wander around your base. So they're safe. So that'll be really cute when you go home and there's like the little bunnies hopping around. Oh, it'll just be so cute. So I'm really excited for that. They're also adding a brand new biome, the mountains biome. You can see mountains in the game right now. I've tried climbing them. There's only so far you can go. But yeah, that'll be really exciting to have a whole new biome. Also, multiplayer pings. For instance, if you're playing with a bunch of friends or even just one other person and you get separated, maybe you don't even have a voice call going, you're just all playing on the same server and you need help, or you found something exciting, or you're in danger, or, you know, a boss battle is starting, who knows, you can put out a ping to let everyone know like something's going on here on the map. That'll be useful for communication. The next point is really exciting too. These are literally all exciting, but Steam Deck support is going to be implemented, which is awesome, especially as we wait for it to come to consoles for console gamers. If you have a Steam Deck, then you'll be able to get on board. Also improved loot UI. I don't know what that's, you know, gonna look like, of course, but quality of life, we love it. Reassignable glider shortcut. This is another huge quality of life thing. Now, I'm hoping this is going to address my problem. I always try to time a double jump late to soften a landing, but I often end up opening my glider when I do that, because if enough time passes from when you take your jump to when you press the jump button again, your glider will come out instead of your double jump taking effect. So I hope that'll fix that with this reassignable glider shortcut. That's honestly, it sounds like a small thing. This is going to be huge, you guys. This is going to be huge. Definitely going to prevent some of my crash landings, I hope. Round doors and windows, that's so fun, especially if you're doing like a hobbit hole build, or, you know, just want to have that circular symmetry going on for your builds. That's exciting. Also, better quest sorting. Again, another quality of life feature we cannot complain about. Now, next is a vanity system, which I am so looking forward to. I'm hoping that this means that once you collect higher level gear, you can assign it to look like other gear you've unlocked. So for example, if you find like a legendary piece of armor that has really high stats, but you hate how it looks, you can hopefully switch it to look like your favorite fit. That's what I'm hoping, because I've unlocked some really strong gear, but I refuse to wear it because I really like the other pieces I have in terms of how they look. So that would be really exciting. There's also going to be animal farming. So again, you can see like goats kind of roaming around. There's different animals you can see roaming around. So it looks like they're going to be adding some sort of ranching mechanic to the game. I don't know if that'll be for their products in terms of like, you know, milk and like eggs and stuff like that, or if it's going to be like for actual meat or both. But regardless of what they have to offer, I'm just mostly excited to have the animals at my base. Portals to other servers is really interesting. I don't know if this is going to be something that is automatically there for everyone, or if it's like an item we'll craft that you can then use to travel to other servers. I think this has a lot of like interesting potential to go from one server to another without like leaving the game. You're kind of like traveling once you're already within the world. So again, that'll be really interesting to see how that actually works. Named tombstones will be really helpful because so if you perish while you're out and about, you'll respawn somewhere, and luckily it does mark where you died on the map, and you can go back and reclaim your loot. If multiple of you have died, whose tombstone is whose? So this will be really helpful for sure to differentiate. There's also going to be some performance improvements, which is always great. Workshops will craft from the magic chests. So my interpretation of this note is that some of the like workshop crafters, so for example, the spindle, will be able to pull from the magic chests instead of you having to constantly reload it, which will be really nice, kind of like an automation system. I'm hoping that you can directly assign specific magic chests for it to pull from so that you can also save some of the supplies separately, but still in magic chests for crafting, you know, at the crafting table or whatnot. Sitting on furniture. This note was made for our community because we love to sit in games and so often we're not able to. So you can sit on the ground in Enshrouded already, but being able to sit in furniture will just be like just that added level of immersion. So especially for taking pictures and stuff, like I'm really excited for that. Potted plants. I cannot complain about potted plants because why not? So cute. The more plants, the better. So having them in pots will be so cute. You can bring them inside if you'd like, I'm guessing. You can decorate with them. Like you can have a little potted plant garden. It'll just be super cute. So I love that. There's a note for server gameplay settings. I'm guessing this is just going to add more precision to how you can control what's going on in your server. I don't know exactly what this is going to look like, but I'm really interested to learn more. There's also going to be signs that you can edit. So if you want to indicate this storage chest is for food, this one is for animal products, whatever, you can put up signs. You'll be able to indicate which is which is going to be really helpful for keeping things organized for sure. Enemy patrols is really interesting. I don't know if this is going to be just kind of like in random places around the world, because as it stands right now, you'll most often encounter enemies either within the shroud or around bases. So maybe they'll just be kind of like wandering enemy patrols and you have like a chance to come across them. I don't know if this means they could potentially attack your base. I don't know. If that is the case, I would kind of hope that you can maybe turn that on or off, because maybe you just want to build and you don't want to be under attack. Like that's fair. So I don't know exactly what this is going to mean for the game, but I'm curious. We'll also be able to name our bases, which is great. So right now how it works is you place down a flame altar to mark your base, and then you can upgrade that altar to, you know, cover more area. But if you put down multiple of these bases, it can get confusing. It can be like, well, wait, why did I put that one there? Because sometimes you'll put them down when you're like out in the world and you can be like, why did I put that one down there? Which one is that? Which base is this if you have multiple? So having a name for them will be great. Just another quality of life thing. There's going to be new enemies and bosses. Now, I personally haven't gone through all the bosses yet. I think I've only battled maybe 3 of the bosses so far. I'm always happy to have more cool like enemy and boss designs for sure. It's more variety, it's more gameplay, like it's awesome. Smoother, high FPS gameplay. I think this should help along with, I guess, the performance improvements. If you're playing on like a lower spec PC, that should help, I think. I'm not an expert, but it sounds promising, so that's good. Better stack splitting. This is another quality of life thing. I love how many quality of life improvements they're addressing, because those little things are actually not so little and they make all the difference in your experience in playing a game. So major props to the team for like zeroing in on those quality of life features. With stack splitting, my understanding of it is like you can either pull something completely out of a chest or you can split it in half. You know, being able to just grab like 1 or 2 more easily or at all would be awesome. So that's maybe where they're going with this point. Improved post-processing, just based off of this photo, I think that's indicating certain visual elements of the game. So if you've played, you know that when you build your base, a lot of the times there'll be like a lot of fog inside, like too much fog, where it's like, why is there so much fog inside? Where did all this fog come from? I've closed the windows. Like, where is it coming from? So I think that's probably a visual thing that's going to be addressed with this improved post-processing. Probably other things too that I haven't noticed yet, but that's one I have noticed. There's also going to be new building materials. Now, I think that's crazy because there's already so many awesome materials. Like, you can build with so many types of wood and stone, and there's like glowing blocks that I've used, and there's like bone blocks. Like, there's so many cool materials. So to know that there's even more building materials coming our way is super exciting. There's also going to be some changes to server user rights. I'm guessing this would be like more precision with the capabilities you can allow people to have when they come to your server, I think. Because right now, if I open my server to whoever, they can do like anything that they want. They can take down my builds, they can take items home if they want. Basically, it's like it's their game. So I'm guessing that this would maybe give a bit more control over that, like maybe something around the actual capabilities that you give to those who come to your server. Musical instruments is so fun and like just not even necessary, but is gonna add so much joy and like life to the game, even more than there already is. So I'm really excited. I hope this means we can actually like play the instruments too, or at least give them to townsfolk to play. So maybe we can have like a resident musician who's always playing music around the base. I think that'd be so fun. So I'm excited for that. A weather system, another amazing feature that we can look forward to. Right now there is a day-night cycle, but that's about it. So maybe there'll be rain, maybe there'll be snowstorms, maybe there'll be really dry days, windy days. I'm not sure, but I'm excited just to make the world feel like it's, you know, changing all the time. I really like that. Also, nameable map locations. So right now you can put down like a custom pin if you want to like, you know, remember I found something cool here, or I want to go back here, but you have to just use an icon and a color. But now you'll be able to name it, which will be really helpful. So you could write like, this is where I found strawberries, this is where I found flowers, right? You could put little keywords to help you out with backtracking if you need to. And then finally, fixes and polishing. That's actually not all. That's last of like this first section. And then they also have some other major features coming later in the year, which I guess might be like bigger features. So we can expect everything else first for the most part, and then these things will come later. So of these bigger features, they have sharing and visiting of bases. My first thought of this is sort of like, bear with me for a second. Animal Crossing dream addresses. So like if you played Animal Crossing New Horizons, there's a way you can have a code that uploads your island build to like a cloud or whatever, and then people can visit it and they can't like damage it, they can't steal from it, they can just check it out. So I could see it being something like that, where your base is kind of uploaded in a certain state for people to be able to go check out, or it could just be a way to open up your base for people to come visit while you're actually, you know, playing the game, and you can like give a tour. And again, they can't like destroy anything or take anything, but they can come check it out. So something like that, where you're just visiting the base, you're not like playing in the world as if it's like your own game. Also, instanced dungeons. So something being instanced means that it's loaded in separate from the rest of the world. So think about if you've played Palia, the world is shared when you're out in like Kilima Valley, but when you go home, that is instanced separately, so you have control over that space and you can choose if you want to invite people there or not. So for a dungeon to be instanced, I'm guessing it's going to be like a bigger dungeon potentially that needs to like load in separately, but also will give the potential for multiple people to play through it on the same server and claim, like, I guess, multiple copies of the loot. So it's not like everyone's competing for those loot items and having to share them. You can all complete it separately and get copies of that loot in the same world. That's like my understanding of it. Now I'm hoping that there'll still be the option to go into it with friends, because I don't want to just go into dungeons by myself, but I don't know exactly how that's going to work. But it's going to be something along the lines of it like loading in separately and allowing for, you know, multiple groups of players or multiple players to all complete it separately and all claim rewards separately. They also have a note for creating and sharing gameplay experiences. I don't know if this kind of goes hand in hand with the visiting of bases and such. Like maybe there's a way you can build like obstacle courses or mazes or I don't know, and share that so other people can like play through it again without tearing it down, wreaking havoc in any way on that person's build. I think that would be really cool because there are like grapple hooks that you can use to swing from and to pull yourself up to like higher places, and you can build these and place them wherever you'd like. for the most part. So I could see someone making like a grappling, like obstacle course kind of thing. Or there's also trap doors that go on the walls and the floors. So I could see someone building like a maze with those. Like that'd be really cool if that's what their plans are. I don't know if that is what it is or not. Those are things I've like thought of while I've been playing. Like, oh, it'd be so cool to make like a maze or like an obstacle course in this game, just with how awesome the building mechanics are. And so that would be cool. That'd be a really cool way to like have challenges within communities and, you know, just get people like playing the game for longer and longer because there's just more and more to do and the community can generate so many fun challenges and stuff. More biomes I will always welcome because more biomes, you know what that means? That means more resources to craft with, more like forageables, more types of berries, fruits, veggies, plants, usually more like animals to tame potentially, like just more of everything. So I haven't even finished going through the biomes that are currently available, but I'll take more. World events sounds so cool. No idea what this will be, but it could be maybe like an invasion, maybe some crazy like natural phenomenon like a storm or a drought. Maybe some crazy creature will show up on the map. And I don't know, but world events sounds really cool. And then finally, last but certainly not least, we will have water, you guys. Now, my understanding is that the shroud has sort of dried up the water. It's taken it over. It's like poisoned it, so it doesn't exist anymore. I have personally tried to create water with glow blocks, which has done its job for now. And I still want to put the water over the glow blocks if we can actually use it in our builds. I'm hoping that along with the water being in the world, there will also be like waterscaping that you can do. So you can bring it into your base and, you know, build and decorate with it. I'm guessing we will be able to, knowing how the building works in this game. It seems like they wouldn't withhold that from us. I kind of hope it's like you unlock this through the story. So like as you clear more and more of the shroud, maybe the water will start coming back. And then at a certain point, you'll be able to like unlock it to use it at your base. I think that'd be really cool. But it's so exciting. It is so exciting, you guys. This roadmap is just amazing. There's a couple other things I wanted to note that came along with this big announcement and sharing of the roadmap. First is that Enshrouded is going to be part of the Steam Spring Sale starting on March 14th until March 21st. So if you're watching this before that time and you haven't got the game yet, you could pick it up on sale at that time if you would like. The other thing is that they are actually putting out an update this month, you guys. So we are definitely going to be checking that out when it drops. Make sure you are subscribed with your notifications on so you don't miss out on anything. I cannot believe we're getting an update in March. That is so exciting. And I can't believe we're getting all of this content this year, or as much of it as they can possibly pull off. So let me know down in the comments which of the new features you're most curious about, excited for, anything and everything. You know I always love hearing from you. Please go ahead and shine the lovely like button if you would love to see more Enshrouded content. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and until next time, take care.